Chosen one, shift your focus to your dominant hand right now. Do not move it. Just feel the weight of it. You have been crying out to God, asking why He has not sent the help you need. But God is saying, why are you begging for power when I already carved the code for it into your skin? There is a divine signature, a specific seal, hidden in the lines of your palm that you are completely unaware of. You think it is just anatomy. The enemy knows it is authority. You are walking through life like a beggar sitting on a chest of gold, starving because you lost the key. But the key is not lost. It is printed on you. What you are about to hear is not a metaphor. It is the decoding of the M sign you carry, a revelation that shifts you from asking for permission to commanding your destiny. You need this right now. Use it. You are not watching this by accident. This is not the YouTube algorithm suggesting random content. This is a divine appointment. Think about where you are right now. Maybe you are sitting in your car, gripping the steering wheel, feeling a restlessness you cannot explain. Maybe you are lying in the dark, the light of this screen hitting your face, wondering why you feel so disconnected from the world around you. That restlessness is not anxiety. It is a GPS signal. God woke you up or directed your path to this specific moment because the timeline of your suffering has expired. You have been waiting for a sign from the sky, but the sign has been in your hand the entire time. Listen to me closely. Do not click away. Do not scroll past. Because what we are about to unlock is the missing instruction manual for your life. If you stay with me until the very last second of this message, we are going to do 3 critical things. First, we are going to decode the ancient Hebrew mystery hidden in that letter M on your palm, revealing why it is the portal to your flow. Second, I am going to teach you the Jericho touch framework, a specific protocol to turn your hand from a tool of labor into a weapon of warfare. And finally, at the end of this video, we are going to perform a sealing ceremony to activate this dormant engine in your spirit. If you leave early, you leave with the weapon still locked. So stay focused. Your breakthrough depends on your attention. Now, bring your attention back to that hand. Keep your focus on the center of your palm. Do you feel a specific kind of heat there? A heaviness? Sometimes it feels like a subtle vibration or even a sudden itch that scratching does not satisfy. For years, you might have dismissed this. You thought it was nerves, you thought it was stress. But let me diagnose this for you spiritually. That heat is high voltage energy trying to push through a wire that is too small. You are carrying a frequency of power that your current reality cannot handle. The Bible speaks of this specific phenomenon in Isaiah chapter 49, verse 16. It says, "Behold, I have graven thee upon the palms of my hands." Most people hear this and think it sounds nice and poetic, but they miss the violence of the original language. In English, the word is graven. But if you look at the original Hebrew, the word used there is chakak. Chakak does not mean to draw with a pen or to paint on a surface. Chakak literally means to cut into stone, to hack, to engrave by removing flesh. It is a permanent, irreversible mark made by force. When God says He has graven you, He is saying He has cut His identity into your very being. He has carved a channel into you, and just as He has you on His hands, He has placed His signature on yours. That is why you feel that pressure in your palm. It is the memory of the cut. It is the ache of the engraving. You are not just a biological accident. You are a marked vessel. That M is the scar of your divine selection. But you feel the weight of that carving, don't you? It is heavy. And that heat in your hand is not the only symptom of this mark. there is a darker side to having this sign. A specific, painful reason why people with this M often feel completely isolated, even when they are surrounded by their own family. It creates a frequency mismatch that makes you feel like an alien in your own home. And we need to address that pain right now before we can activate the power. That pain you feel is not a mental illness. It is a frequency mismatch. Let me take you back to a moment I know you have lived through 1,000 times. Visualize yourself sitting at a family gathering or a holiday dinner. The table is full of food. The room is loud with laughter and conversation. People you love are sitting right next to you. But even though you are physically sitting in that chair, spiritually, you feel like you are floating 1,000,000 miles away. You look at them, and you feel a strange, invisible glass wall separating you from everyone else. You smile when they joke. You nod when they speak. But deep inside, your spirit is checking the exit. You feel like an undercover agent from another planet who has been dropped into a world where you do not speak the language. You have asked yourself in the dark, what is wrong with me? Why can I not just be normal? Why do I feel drained by the people I am supposed to love? Chosen one, listen to me. This alienation is not a defect. It is a direct consequence of the seal on your hand. That M on your palm acts like a high-frequency antenna. You are constantly picking up on spiritual signals, unspoken emotions, and hidden agendas that the people around you are completely blind to. You are trying to plug a high-voltage appliance into a low-voltage outlet, and it is causing your system to overheat. That is why you are exhausted. That is why you retreat to the bathroom or your car just to breathe. You are not antisocial. You are spiritually overstimulated because that mark on your hand keeps your receiver open. This brings us back to the mystery of Isaiah 49:16 and that Hebrew word, shakak. We need to go deeper into this because it explains exactly why you are so lonely. Remember, shakak means to engrave or cut in. Think about what happens when a sculptor creates a masterpiece out of a block of marble. To reveal the image, he has to cut away the stone that surrounds it. He has to create space. He has to remove material. That is what happened to you. When God carved his signature into your palm, he also carved you out of the crowd. The process of being graven necessitates a separation. The chips of stone that fly away represent the people, the groups, and the environments that can no longer cling to you. The loneliness you feel is simply the empty space God created around you so that he could access you. If you fit in perfectly with the world, it would mean you were made of the world's material. But you do not fit in because you have been cut out for a specific purpose. You have treated this isolation like a curse. You have prayed for God to make you like everyone else. But God is saying, I cannot make you normal without destroying the design. I separated you because I need someone who can hear me above the noise. And speaking of noise, let us talk about your physical reaction to the world. This is the somatic reality of the sign. Because this M acts as a conductor of energy, you likely have a physical intolerance to chaos that others do not understand. Have you noticed that when you walk into a crowded supermarket or a loud stadium, your body physically reacts? Your chest tightens, your hands might even start to shake or sweat. You feel a sudden, irrational anger or a desperate need to flee. Doctors might call this anxiety or sensory processing disorder, but spiritually, this is your discernment engine redlining. Your hand, your spirit, is detecting conflicting frequencies. You are sensing the spiritual war in the atmosphere before your eyes even see it. You have spent years medicating this sensitivity, hiding it, or hating yourself for it. You thought you were weak. But the truth is, you are a sensitive instrument in a blunt world. You are a Geiger counter in a radioactive zone. A Geiger counter clicks wildly, not because it is broken, but because it is working perfectly. Your intolerance for drama, your inability to engage in small talk, your need for deep periods of silence, these are not symptoms of sickness. They are the operating requirements of a prophet. You have endured this isolation for decades because you thought it was a punishment. You thought you were just the black sheep. But now you see that the black sheep is actually the shepherd in training. The separation was necessary. The pain was the chisel. But now comes the dangerous part. Because you have been so starved for connection, so desperate to find meaning for this mark on your hand, you are vulnerable to a lie. The world has seen this M on your palm, and the world has offered you a different explanation, a seductive explanation. They tell you that M stands for millionaire. They tell you this sign is a guarantee of easy wealth, a lottery ticket stamped on your skin. They promise that if you have this line, money will just fall into your lap without a fight. Is that true? Or is it the most dangerous trap the enemy has ever set to keep you from discovering the true power you hold? Be very careful, chosen one, because what I am about to reveal about that M will shatter everything you thought you knew about money. Let us be honest with each other right now. You have searched for this. You have heard the rumors. In almost every culture, palm readers and mystics claim that the letter M on the palm stands for money, millionaire, or material abundance. And right now, there is a desperate part of your soul that wants to believe that is the whole truth. Because, let's face it, you are tired. You are tired of the struggle. You are tired of calculating the cost of groceries in your head before you get to the register. You are tired of seeing people with half your integrity enjoying double your prosperity. So, when you look at that M, you want it to be a promise that a massive financial transfer is coming to wipe away your debts instantly. And I am not here to tell you that God wants you poor. That is a lie from the pit. There is absolutely a connection between that sign and abundance. However, believing that the M simply stands for money is a dangerous half-truth that has led many chosen ones into ruin. It is a spiritual trap. If you think that sign is a lottery ticket stamped on your skin, you will end up like a man I once counseled. Let us call him Michael. Michael had one of the clearest M markings I have ever seen. It was deep, unbroken, and undeniable. He discovered the millionaire interpretation online, and he took it as a prophecy that his days of working were over. He believed his breakthrough was going to be supernatural and effortless. So, he stopped pushing. He stopped strategizing. He started waiting. He sat in his living room, praising God for the check that was in the mail. He ignored practical opportunities because he felt they were beneath his new destiny. He told his friends, "God marked me for wealth. I am just waiting for the manifestation." 2 years later, I sat with Michael in a small, dim room. He was holding a pen, hovering over a document on a cold metal table. But he wasn't signing a deed to a mansion. He was signing bankruptcy papers. He looked at his hand, then he looked at me with tears in his eyes and asked, "Did God lie to me? Why is this mark here if I am losing everything?" Michael failed because he misunderstood the mechanics of the mark. He thought the M was the fruit, but actually the M is the root. He was waiting for the apple to fall, while God was waiting for him to plant the seed. This brings us to the most critical biblical correction you will ever hear regarding your finances. It is found in Deuteronomy chapter 8, verse 18. You have likely heard it quoted, But thou shalt remember the Lord thy God, for it is he that giveth thee power to get wealth. Read that again in your spirit. Notice what it does not say. It does not say he gives you wealth. It says he gives you the power to get wealth. The context here is crucial. Moses was speaking to the Israelites right before they entered the promised land. He was warning them about the danger of comfort. He knew that once they saw the abundance, they would forget the source. But the key revelation for you is the distinction between the result and the engine. God does not give you the finished product, he gives you the generator. That word power in the verse is the Hebrew word coach. It implies divine strength, capacity, and ability to produce. That M on your hand is not a bank account number. It is the schematic for the engine called coach. It is the ignition switch for a divine capacity to create value, to solve problems, and to command resources. Michael had the engine, but he never turned it on because he was waiting for the car to drive itself. So, chosen one, answer this question in the silence of your own mind. Have you been waiting for money? Or have you been activating power? Because if that M does not stand for money, and it does not stand for millionaire, then what is the power it is actually pointing to? If Deuteronomy says God gives you a specific power to generate reality, where is that power located? It is hidden right there in the true, ancient meaning of that letter on your hand. It is not an English letter at all. It is a code from the beginning of time, and once you understand what it really represents, you will realize that money is just a small, insignificant side effect of the terrifying authority you actually hold. Prepare yourself, because we are about to shatter the illusion you have been living under. Stop looking at your hand through the lens of the 21st century. That shape on your palm is not the English letter M. The English language did not even exist when God formed the first man from the dust of the ground. That shape is the ancient Hebrew letter Mem. And Mem does not mean money. Mem means water. It means flow. It means mighty chaos. In the beginning, the Bible says the Spirit of God moved over the face of the waters. That is Mem. It is the raw, chaotic, creative substance of the universe before it is formed into reality. This changes everything. Why do you think we call money currency? Because, like a current, it is meant to flow. It is liquid. God did not mark you to be a warehouse where money sits and rots. He marked you to be a riverbed where resources flow through. Michael, the man I told you about, failed because he tried to build a dam to hoard the water. But Mem demands flow. The moment you grasp tight out of fear, you stop the current, and the water becomes stagnant. You are not broke, chosen one. You are blocked. You are a high-pressure fire hose that has been kinked by your own misunderstanding of your design. You have been praying for a pool of wealth to sit in, but God gave you the piping system to irrigate a desert. The power Deuteronomy speaks of is not the power to collect. It is the power to direct. And this brings us to the dark, uncomfortable truth that we have been avoiding. The real reason you have kept this power dormant. You haven't activated this flow because deep down you are terrified of your own hands. Look at them right now in your mind's eye. Do not move, just visualize your hands floating in front of you. Replay the tape of your life. In your memory, you see wreckage. You remember the relationship you tried to hold on to that crumbled into dust. You remember the job you tried to save that fired you anyway. You remember the person you tried to fix who only got worse. There is a voice in the back of your head that whispers, "Don't touch it, you'll ruin it." You think you have a reverse Midas touch. You think that everything you handle breaks. I am here to tell you That is not a curse. That is uncontrolled voltage. You destroyed those things not because you are bad, but because you are powerful and unskilled. You are a portal attempting to operate like a container. A portal that does not know how to open and close is dangerous. It floods the house. You have felt this energy spike before, haven't you? Think back to a moment right before a major argument or a sudden loss. Did you feel a heat rising in your chest? Did you feel a vibration in your palms? That was the mem energy building up, looking for a release, and because you didn't know how to direct it, it exploded and destroyed the very thing you wanted to protect. So you stopped using it. You put your spiritual hands in your pockets. You decided it was safer to be powerless than to be destructive. You chose poverty because poverty felt safer than the responsibility of power. But God is saying today, the season of hiding is over. I did not give you a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. A sound mind means a controlled flow. The question is no longer, when will I get the money? The question is, how do I open the gate without breaking the hinges? If you are a portal where the spiritual mem becomes physical reality, you need a mechanism. You need a way to direct this mighty water so it builds empires instead of drowning them. You need to know how to point your hand at a wall of debt and make it fall flat, not by wishing, but by a specific spiritual operation. To do that, we must leave the theory behind and pick up a specific, ancient battle protocol that Joshua used at the walls of Jericho. It wasn't magic. It was a frequency alignment that used the hands and the voice to collapse a physical obstacle. And you are about to learn exactly how to do it. You are now standing at the threshold of activation. We have diagnosed the mark, we have exposed the fear, and we have redefined the physics of your spiritual hands. You are a portal, but a portal that remains shut is just a wall. Now we must open it. We are going to deploy a specific spiritual technology I call the Jericho Touch. This is not a lucky charm. This is the exact operational framework used by Joshua to level the walls of a fortified city without firing a single physical shot. To understand how to use your hand, you must first understand what actually happened at Jericho. Most people think the walls fell because the people shouted. That is the Sunday school version. The strategic truth is found in the silence before the shout. For 6 days, God commanded the army to march around the city in total silence. Can you imagine the tension? Thousands of soldiers, weapons drawn, walking through the dust, not saying a word. Why silence? Because silence builds pressure. Silence allows the mem, the spiritual water, to rise behind the dam. Every step they took was charging the atmosphere. And what were they carrying? The Ark of the Covenant. And how was the Ark carried? By the hands of the priests. The hands bore the weight of God's heavy glory while the pressure built. Then, on the 7th day, at the specific moment of critical mass, Joshua gave the command. The hands that carried the glory released the sound, and the frequency of that release shattered the molecular structure of the stone walls. Your hand works the same way. The M on your palm is the contact point for the Ark. You have been shouting too early. You have been begging at the wall instead of charging the atmosphere. The Jericho Touch framework fixes this. It consists of 3 specific movements: locate, contact, and decree. Let us walk through this protocol right now. You do not need to be at home to do this. You can do this right where you are. Step 1 is locate. You must identify the specific wall blocking your flow. Do not just say, "I have money problems." That is too vague. Spiritual warfare requires coordinates. Is it A specific debt? Is it a letter from the bank? Is it a chaotic boss? Is it a sickness in your body? Visualize that blockage right now. See it clearly in your mind. Give it a shape. Give it a name. Zoom in on it until you can see the texture of the stone that is standing between you and your promise. Step 2 is contact. This is where the mem is activated. If you are in a safe place, you would physically lay your hand on the bill or the doorframe. But if you are driving or lying in the dark right now, we will perform a projected touch. I want you to visualize your dominant hand, the one with the mark. Imagine that hand is glowing with that high voltage heat we talked about. Now, in your mind, reach out and place that hand directly onto the wall you just visualized. If you are driving, grip the steering wheel tighter. That wheel represents the control of your life. If you are lying down, place your hand on your own chest. Feel the solid reality of it. That point of contact is the bridge. You are connecting the high voltage power of heaven to the dead structure of your problem. Hold it there. Do not move. Feel the vibration. That is the mem flowing from your spirit through the portal of your palm and into the structure of the enemy. You are charging the wall. Step 3 is the decree. This is where most chosen ones fail. You are used to begging. You are used to saying, "God, please move this wall." But Joshua did not ask the wall to fall. He commanded it. The Jericho touch requires a shift from petition to legislation. A king does not ask the door to open. He orders it. With your mental hand still pressed against that wall, I want you to shift your internal posture. Do not ask for the debt to vanish. Command the resources to flow. Do not ask for the sickness to leave. Command the health to align. You are not speaking to God about the mountain. You are speaking to the mountain about your God. Let us run a simulation. Imagine you are pressing your hand against the spirit of poverty that has stalked your family for generations. Feel the cold, hard surface of that lack. Now, channel the heat from your palm into it. Feel the pressure building, and in the silence of your mind, I want you to release a shout of authority. Say, "I command this structure to collapse. I sever the root of this lack. By the seal of the living God on my hand, I declare this wall finished." Did you feel that shift? That sudden lightness in your chest? That is the dam breaking. That is the mem rushing through. You just went from being a victim of your circumstances to being the architect of your reality. You have used the key. But I must warn you, this level of authority does not go unnoticed. This is not a game. When you start swinging a sword, you make noise in the spirit realm. The moment you activate the Jericho touch, you light up on the enemy's radar. You have just declared war on the systems that have held you captive. And the enemy will not simply stand by and watch his walls crumble. He is going to push back. Newton's third law states that for every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. This is true in physics, and it is true in spiritual warfare. When you push against the darkness pushes back. You are about to experience resistance. But do not be afraid. This resistance is not a sign that you failed. It is the proof that you are finally dangerous. You need to know exactly what is coming for you. The enemy has a specific playbook he uses against chosen ones who discover their hands. He is not creative, but he is effective. He is going to launch a series of counterattacks specifically designed to make you put your hands back in your pockets. He wants you to think the Jericho touch didn't work. He wants you to retreat into doubt. There are 7 specific forms of confrontation that are about to manifest in your life. You need to recognize them the moment they appear, or you will think you are losing your mind. The first one usually happens within 24 hours of activation. It is a subtle, creeping sensation that targets your physical body, trying to convince you that your strength is gone. The first form of attack is what I call the heavy hand. It usually hits you the moment you decide to take action. You wake up with a vision. You know exactly what to do, but your body feels like lead. It is a supernatural exhaustion that has nothing to do with how many hours you slept. You sit at your desk, or you stand in your kitchen, and simply lifting your arm to start the work feels like lifting 500 pounds. The enemy is trying to alter the gravity around you. He knows that if he can make the simple act of moving your hand feel impossible, you will give up before you even strike the first blow. Do not confuse this with laziness. It is atmospheric resistance. The second form is the trembling hand. This is the spirit of anxiety manifesting somatically. You will notice this when you are about to sign a contract, make a critical phone call, or send an important email. Suddenly, your hands start to shake. A cold sweat breaks out on your palms. Your heart hammers against your ribs. The enemy is trying to bypass your spirit and hack your nervous system. He wants you to look at your trembling hands and think, "I am too weak to handle this responsibility." He wants you to drop the sword out of fear. The third form is the sticky hand. This is one of the most dangerous because it blocks new blessings. The sticky hand happens when you cannot let go of a past offense. Someone betrayed you. Someone stole from you. And even though you say you have moved on, your spirit is still gripping the throat of that memory. As long as your hand is closed tight around a grudge, it cannot be opened to receive the fresh flow of mem. You are stuck holding ashes, wondering why God has not given you beauty. The enemy keeps your hand sticky with bitterness so that when the new opportunity comes, you have no fingers free to grasp it. The fourth form is the withered hand. This is the spirit of paralysis. You know you have the talent. You know you have the calling, but you are frozen. You spend years planning, researching, and preparing, but you never actually pull the trigger. You are stuck in a loop of analysis paralysis. Your hand has withered because it has atrophied from lack of use. We see a precise diagnosis of this condition in Mark chapter 3. Jesus enters the synagogue, and there is a man there with a withered hand. The Greek word used for withered implies that the vital fluids, the life source, had dried up. It was stiff, it was useless. And notice the context. The religious leaders were watching Jesus closely to see if he would heal on the Sabbath so they could accuse him. The atmosphere was thick with judgment and hostility. That is exactly where many of you are right now. You feel withered because you are surrounded by critics, by doubters, by a system that waits for you to fail. But look at the cure. Jesus did not go over and massage the man's hand. He gave him a command that seemed impossible. He said, "Stretch forth thine hand." Think about the logic of that. The man's hand was paralyzed. He literally could not move it. But the miracle was not in the waiting. It was in the stretching. Jesus commanded him to do the very thing he could not do. And as the man attempted to move against the stiffness, as he exerted his will against the paralysis, the power met the effort, and the hand was restored. The withered hand is cured by aggressive action in the face of inability. The fifth form of attack is the empty hand. This is the voice of the accuser telling you that you are an imposter. You look at your hands and you see nothing. You compare your beginning to someone else's middle. You say, "I don't have the resources, I don't have the degree, I don't have the connections." The enemy blinds you to the seal of God on your palm and makes you focus on the emptiness of your grip. He wants you to believe you are bankrupt so that you never attempt to make a purchase. The sixth form is the dirty hand. This is the spirit of shame. The enemy will replay a movie of your past sins in high definition. He will remind you of what those hands have done in the dark. He will say, "How dare you try to touch holy things with those hands? How dare you expect a blessing when you have made such a mess?" He tries to stain your conscience so that you pull your hand back from God's table, believing you are unworthy to eat. And the seventh form is the fist of control. This is when you try to force the outcome. You stop trusting the flow and you start manipulating. You grip the steering wheel of your life so tight your knuckles turn white. You try to make the door open by banging on it until your hand bleeds. This is not authority. This is fear masquerading as effort. And it stops the flow of mem instantly, because water cannot flow through a clenched fist. These are the 7 weapons formed against you. Recognizing them is half the battle. But how do you defeat them? How do you keep your hands clean, strong, and open? You need a maintenance protocol. You need a way to flush the system. We call this the open palm protocol. I want you to engage this with me right now in the spirit. You do not need to move your physical body if you are not able. But in your mind, I want you to visualize your hands. See them clenched tight, holding onto the stress, the fear, the control, the shame. They are heavy, they are tired. Now, in your imagination, I want you to flip them over so the palms are facing the sky. And I want you to visualize the joints slowly uncurling, finger by finger, letting go of the need to control, letting go of the need to punish, letting go of the paralysis. Visualize the letter Mem on your palm starting to glow with a cool blue light. Remember, Mem is living water. Imagine a stream of crystal clear, supernatural water flowing out from the center of your palms. It is washing away the stickiness of the past. It is cooling the heat of anxiety. It is hydrating the withered, dry places of your hope. Breathe in deeply, and as you exhale, imagine pushing that water out through your hands into the atmosphere around you. Say to your spirit, I release the resistance. I release the outcome. I am a channel, not a dam. As the water flows out, new power flows in. This is the secret of the open palm. You cannot receive a fresh impartation with a closed fist. By opening your hand, you are signaling to the heavens that you are ready for the upgrade. You have the weapon of attack, the Jericho touch. You have the weapon of defense, the open palm protocol. You have identified the enemy's 7 strategies. The board is set. The pieces are moving. But there is one final thing you must see. Because when you combine a clean hand with a commanded timeline, acceleration happens. If you can maintain this open palm stance and withstand these 7 attacks, what happens next? History tells us the answer. After the walls of Jericho fell, the Israelites did not just get a city, they entered a season of conquest. And right now, there is a specific timeline hovering over your life. You are not just fighting a random battle, you are closing a 40-year cycle in 40 days. There is a major event approaching on your horizon, a divine convergence that requires you to be fully operational. Let me show you what is coming. History tells us that when a chosen one finally aligns their biological design with spiritual law, the result is never a trickle. It is a flood. Let me prove this to you with a real-world example. There was a woman named Sarah who came to me with the exact same marking you have. She had the M on her palm, and she had the chaos in her life. She was 42 years old, drowning in credit card debt and facing foreclosure on her home. She had prayed every prayer she knew. She had sown seeds she could not afford. But nothing shifted because she was violating the flow. She was operating out of fear, keeping her hands clenched, begging God to rescue her from a mess she had the power to command. When she learned the truth about Mem, everything changed. She stopped asking God for money. Instead, she began to use the Jericho touch. Every morning, she would lay her hand on her front door and command the flow of resources to enter. Every time panic tried to seize her chest, she executed the open palm protocol, releasing the fear and visualizing the water flowing. For the first 2 weeks, nothing happened externally. In fact, the pressure got worse. That was the resistance we talked about. But she held her ground. On the 40th day, exactly at the end of her cycle, the breakthrough did not just knock, it broke the door down. She received a call regarding an old, forgotten inheritance from a distant relative that had been tied up in legal battles for a decade. The funds were released that morning. It was not a lottery win. It was a blocked flow that was suddenly unblocked because she finally turned the valve. The money was enough to clear the debt and the mortgage, with exactly $700 left over. That is the precision of God. Sarah did not get lucky. She got aligned. And this brings us to the prophetic timeline that is hovering over you right now. Why did it take 40 days for Sarah? And why am I telling you that a major event is approaching in your next 40 days? In Scripture, the number 40 is the number of transition. It rained for 40 days during the flood to cleanse the earth. Moses was on the mountain for 40 days to receive the law. Jesus fasted for 40 days to prepare for ministry. You are entering your own 40-day incubation period. From the moment you activate this seal, which we are about to do, you are stepping into a spiritual tunnel. For the next 40 days, the atmosphere around you is going to accelerate. You will see doors opening that have been rusted shut for years. You will see relationships that no longer serve you suddenly fall away. Do not panic when this happens. It is the Mem washing away the debris to clear the channel. But there is one final, critical warning I must give you before we seal this. This is where most people fail. Once you feel this power return, once you see the first signs of the flow, you will be tempted to run and tell everyone. You will want to show your family the mark. You will want to explain the revelation to your friends. Do not do it. Remember Joseph. Joseph had a coat of many colors, a mark of distinction given by his father. It was his version of the M. But what did Joseph do? He immaturely showed it to his brothers, who did not have it. He told them his dreams of ruling over them. And what happened? Their jealousy threw him into a pit. Chosen one. Your brothers and sisters do not have this mark. If you show a weapon to someone who does not understand war, they will call you crazy. If you talk about high voltage power to people who are comfortable in the dark, they will try to unplug you. This requires strategic silence. Keep your hand open to God, but keep your business closed to the world. Mary carried the Messiah in her womb, but she hid herself for months. You are carrying a miracle. Do not expose it until it is full grown. Let the results speak for you. Let them see the fruit. Do not show them the root. Now we have spoken enough. The theory ends here. The warning has been given. The timeline is set. All that remains is the spark. We are about to perform the activation ceremony to permanently seal this revelation into your spirit. I need you to shift your posture right now. If you are lying down, I want you to rise in your spirit. If you are driving, I want you to sit up straighter in your seat. Square your shoulders, adjust your internal stance from that of a listener to that of a commander. We are going to lock this in. Are you ready? We have arrived at the summit. Everything you have heard up to this moment was preparation. Now, we enter the Holy of Holies, We are moving from information to activation. I want you to shift your internal atmosphere right now. If there are distractions around you, tune them out. If there is noise, let it fade into the background. You are stepping into a spiritual operating room where the master surgeon is about to work on your hands. Do not passively listen to my voice anymore. My voice is simply the guide. Your spirit is the one that must do the work. I want you to visualize your hands in front of you one last time. But do not see them as flesh and bone. See them as spiritual vessels. See the lines on your palms glowing with a faint light. These are the instruments of your destiny. But for too long, they have been dirty, not with soil, but with fear, with doubt, with the residue of failures that you have held onto for decades. Before we can turn on the high voltage of God's power, we must clean the connection points. If we run power through a dirty wire, it will short circuit. So, we begin with the cleansing. Center your breathing. Inhale deeply, pulling peace into your lungs. Exhale slowly, pushing out the chaos of the day. Say this with your spirit, or whisper it if you can. Lord, I present my hands to you. I apologize for how I have used them. I apologize for the closed fist, for the times I squeezed tight out of fear, trying to control what only you could manage. I apologize for the withered hand, for the times I let my gifts atrophy because I was afraid of the critics. I am ready to let go. I open my hands now. I drop the baggage. I drop the resentment. I drop the need to know how it will happen. I empty my vessel so you can fill it. Feel the lightness entering your wrists. That is the weight of control falling off. Now that the hands are open, we must deal with the enemies that are standing around you, waiting to snatch this seed. We identified 7 specific forms of warfare earlier. We are not going to ignore them. We are going to arrest them right now. I am going to speak to each one, and as I do, I want you to visualize chains breaking off your fingers. I speak to the spirit of the heavy hand. You, the force of supernatural exhaustion that tries to paralyze this chosen one before they start. I bind you in the name of the Most High. You have no authority here. The gravity of this depression is broken. I declare a supernatural energy entering these muscles. Lightness is restored. I speak to the trembling hand, the spirit of anxiety and panic. You liar that makes them shake at the threshold of breakthrough. I silence your frequency. I command the nervous system of this chosen one to align with the peace of heaven. The shaking stops now. A steady, calm assurance is taking over. I speak to the sticky hand, the spirit of bitterness and past offenses. I command you to loose your grip. We wash away the glue of old betrayals. We forgive the debtors. We release the memory of the loss. This hand is clean. It will no longer hold on to ashes. It is free to grasp the new thing. I speak to the withered hand, the spirit of paralysis and delay. You force that has kept this potential dormant for years. I curse the root of that dryness. I command life to flow back into the dreams, the projects, and the creativity of this chosen one. Stretch forth, mobilize. The season of waiting is over. The season of movement has begun. I speak to the empty hand, the spirit of poverty and lack. You accuser that points to their bank account and mocks their identity. I silence you with the truth of the covenant. This hand is not empty. It holds the signature of the King. I rebuke the devourer that eats the harvest. The leak is plugged. The bag with holes is mended. I speak to the dirty hand, the spirit of shame, the voice that says, You are unworthy. I plead the blood of the covenant over these hands. They are washed white. The past is deleted. The record is expunged. This chosen one stands righteous, not by their works, but by the seal of God. And finally, I speak to the fist of control, the pride that thinks it can force doors open. We humble ourselves. We surrender the outcome. We trust the flow. We trust the mem. Breathe. Feel the atmosphere around you shift. The enemies have been pushed back. The perimeter is secure. Your hands are clean, open, and trembling, not with fear this time, but with the anticipation of power. You are now a clean vessel. You are a consecrated portal. The dam is removed. Now, and only now, are we ready to call down the anointing. We are ready to activate the mem. We are ready to seal the 40-day timeline. Prepare your spirit to receive the download. Your hands are now empty of fear. They are clean of shame. The old residue is gone. And because spiritual law dictates that nature abhors a vacuum, and the spirit always fills what is fully yielded, we are going to fill them right now. We are going to pour the oil of ancient authority into the lines of your palm. We are going to turn the power on. In your mind's eye, I want you to visualize a golden, radiant oil descending from the very throne room of heaven. It is heavy. It is thick. It glows with a light that is brighter than the sun. Watch it as it slowly descends towards you. This is not just oil. This is the liquid form of God's approval. It is the physical manifestation of the mandate to rule. Watch now as that golden oil touches the center of your open palms. Feel the weight of it. It is warm, soothing, yet intensely powerful. Watch it fill the grooves of the letter M. Watch it run down the lifeline, the headline, the heartline. It is saturating every pore of your skin. As the oil touches the skin, feel that heat returning. But this time, it is not the frantic, chaotic heat of anxiety or stress. It is the steady, humming warmth of a nuclear reactor coming online. It is the vibration of Koach. I declare the anointing of Mem over you right now. I activate the flow of living water. I speak to the dormant DNA in your bloodline, the genetic code that was designed for dominion before the foundation of the world, and I command it to wake up. The seal of restriction is broken. The containment field of the enemy is shattered. You are coming online. Focus on that vibration in your hands. That is the Jericho frequency. Your hands are no longer just flesh and bone. They have been transmuted into spiritual hardware. They are now conductors of high-voltage glory. When you touch the physical world with these hands, from this day forward, you are not just making contact. You are transmitting a divine signal that rearranges reality. Now, with that oil heavy on your hands in the spirit, we are going to activate the clause of Deuteronomy, chapter 8, verse 18. We are going to claim the engine. For years, you have begged God for the fruit. You have begged for the money, the house, the healing. That ends today. A king does not beg for bread. A king owns the bakery. A conduit does not beg for water. It carries the source. Say this with me in the silence of your spirit. Let these words echo in the chambers of your soul like thunder. Say, I receive the Koach. I receive the power to create wealth. I receive the power to establish the covenant. I am done begging for the blessing. I now possess the capacity to build it. I am not a reservoir of stagnant water. I am a river of living power. My hands are the hands of a builder. My hands are the hands of a healer. My hands are the hands of a warfare general. What I touch, I change. What I bind is bound. What I loose is loosed. Visualize your hands glowing brighter and brighter until they are blinding white. This is the hand that will sign the contracts that seemed impossible. This is the hand that will hold the keys to the property that the enemy said you would never own. This is the hand that will lay upon your children and break the generational curses that have hunted your last name for centuries. This is the hand that will touch the sick and see the molecular structure of disease bow to the name of Jesus. I consecrate these hands to the work of the kingdom. They are no longer tools of survival. They are weapons of war and instruments of supernatural architecture. Now that the weapon is armed, we must set the battlefield. We are marking the calendar in the courts of heaven. From this very hour, this very minute, we initiate the 40-day covenant. We draw a circle of fire around the next 40 days of your life. This is your incubation period. This is your protected timeline. I decree that for the next 40 days, a divine firewall is erected around your mind, your home, and your finances. I issue a restraining order against the 7 spirits we just bound. They are forbidden from re-entering your atmosphere. I decree that for the next 40 days, your spiritual sensitivity will be heightened to a level you have never experienced. You will see the enemy's attacks before they land. When the spirit of anxiety tries to make your hand tremble, you will see it coming, and you will counter it with the open palm protocol. When the spirit of poverty tries to make your hand wither, you will crush it with the Jericho touch. You will not be a victim of surprise. You will be a master of strategy. I declare that in these 40 days, the flow of Mem will begin to wash away the debris in your life. Relationships that are blocking your flow will suddenly fall away. Do not grieve them. They are making room for the new. Opportunities that were stuck in the pipeline will suddenly release. Checks that were held up will arrive. Clarity that was missing will descend. I decree that by the end of this 40-day cycle, you will hold physical, tangible proof of this spiritual shift. It will not just be a feeling. You will look at your life and see a wall that has fallen. You will see a debt that has shrunk. You will see a door that has opened. The evidence will be undeniable. Chosen one, hear my final charge to you. The ceremony is nearing its end, but your mission is just beginning. You are leaving this session different than you entered it. You walked in here as a confused victim, wondering why you felt so alien, wondering why you carried a mark you did not understand. You are walking out as a dangerous commander, armed with the ancient revelation of your design. You are no longer a slave to the system. You are a hacker in the matrix. You carry the override code in your palm. Do not go back to sleep. Do not let the mundane routine of tomorrow dim the light of this revelation. Do not let the noise of the crowd drown out the frequency of your hands. You are different. You were made to be different. Embrace the separation. Embrace the power. And remember the warning I gave you. Walk in strategic silence. This new power is a treasure. Do not cast your pearls before those who are committed to misunderstanding you. Do not try to explain this to people who are comfortable in their chains. They will not understand the oil on your hands. They will only see the dirt on their own. Keep your business closed to the world and open only to God. Let your results be your testimony. Let your life be the proof. Let the fallen walls speak for you. The seal is set. The word is established. The portal is open. The manual is restored. The mem is flowing. The coach is active. Now, take a deep breath. Inhale the authority of the Lion of Judah. Exhale the doubt of the orphan. You are commissioned. You are anointed. You are dangerous. Go and use it. Amen.